Hey guys, happy Monday. Welcome to Rochelle's Cooking Corner. I am going to make some fantastic things today. I'm going to do content all day. But the first thing that I'm going to bring to you is some Haitian stewed turkey wings, which is my husband's absolutely favorite. It's been my favorite for at least 20-30 years. I absolutely love them. I learned how to cook them when I lived in South Florida. And I've been cooking them ever since, but I just actually love them. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I clean them. Then I'm going to show you some of my ingredients. And then we're going to go to the stove and start preparing them. So if you just stand by, I'll be right back with you. Thank you. Oh guys, here we go. Okay, so I've been soaking these in. What I do is I clean this. I cut this part of the chicken wing, the turkey wing off. You know, it's usually a flap of meat there. I take that off. My husband literally despises that piece. So I cut it off on all of the pieces of the turkey wing. Okay, then what I do is I rinse them well, and then I soak them in some lime. So I have like 2 limes cut up in here. This is approximately about 3 or 4 pounds of turkey wings. Okay, so they've been soaking for about, I'm going to say 15-20 minutes. So what I'm going to do is pour off the water and then give them a really good rinse again. Okay, put them in cold water and let them rinse again. Now you can also, if you don't have lime, you can also soak them in some white vinegar. It does the same thing. But since this is a Caribbean dish, I just really love my lime in those type of dishes. And so that's what I'm using today. So let's go ahead and just pour off. And drain. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to season these. So I'm going to go ahead and take you over to my countertop where I'm going to be seasoning. Okay guys, I'm back. I have a lot of seasonings going on over here. So just stick with me. First thing I want you to see that cloves. This is a real big ingredient in the flavor that comes out of Haitian food. So I'm going to use a few of these cloves. I have some garlic, some granulated onion, some garlic, and I'm using probably, I'm going to say, maybe a tablespoon of all of these. Some paprika, that's complete seasoning. Some paprika. Have a little parsley flakes here. Now, I do have my Epi's green seasoning that I make up myself. And when I make them up, I freeze them right away. You can just stand by for a second. Let me get my... Okay, sorry about that. So I put a little parsley flakes. And as I was saying, I make my own Epi's. It's my green seasoning, which I have fresh parsley, fresh thyme, garlic, ginger, cloves, lime, onion, Scotch bonnet. I put a lot of Scotch bonnets in mine, maybe about 6 of them. I grind them up there. But I make them in big batches. So it is a little spicy, but I like spice, so it's no big deal. And so in my cooking process, I'll use probably half of this. You know, I'll open this up and I'll use half of that. Also, I have some black pepper here. Put a little bit of black pepper in there. I don't use a lot of black pepper because I have Scotch bonnet in my eppies, and I'm also going to cook with a Scotch bonnet. Okay, and I have some chicken seasoning. Put a little bit of it in that. I also have a Maggi cube that I'm going to crush up in there. We're going to go to the stove in just a second, and we're going to put this meat on to start rendering its own juices. I also, if you can see, I have some tomatoes. I have some more fresh lime that I'm going to squeeze in after I brown the meat. And then I have red pepper, green pepper, onion in here. I'm also going to put a little bit more garlic, although I have garlic in my eppies. Okay, never open these packs. Okay, so let me put a little bit of this in here. And as I said, I'm going to squeeze one lime in this. Now you don't have to use lime if you have some other citrus, orange citrus, that works really well in here. I'm going to use a whole lime. I'm going to squeeze the whole lime in here. I just love these stewed turkeys. These are my favorite. I'm also going to, once my meat is prepared, well, at the stage that I need it to be, I'm going to put in some tomato paste and let it saute for a little bit. Here we go. Now, I do have onion and everything else that's going to go in here, and garlic, but not first. First thing I want to do is season this up. I'm going to let this set in for about 15 minutes, and just so that it can start absorbing the flavors of the spices. Now that's the reason why you want to clean your meat really well, because your meat is going to accept the new flavors of the spices that you're going to be putting in. So if you don't clean your meat well, then all of the bacteria and the blood or whatever that's in there is really not going to mesh well with your spices that you're putting in. So you want to make sure that you are cleaning your meat well so that it'll accept the new flavors. Okay, so we'll be back in a few minutes, and I'm going to meet you at the stove. Okay, here we go. So I've let the meat rest with the spices. I'm going to go ahead and start adding my turkey wings to this medium pot. I'm not cooking a lot of wings, so I don't need a really big pot. Get these in here. Let them start browning a little bit, and then rendering in its own juices. All these spices in here. I'll make sure I get them all in there. There you go. And rinse my hands off a little bit. Now here's my eppies that I'm going to be using. I'm only going to use like half of it. What I do is when I make this up, I put them in little snack bags and I freeze it immediately after I make it. So it's like when I take it out and make it, it's like it's fresh, like it's the first day of use. So those are really fabulous. Once I start stewing my turkey, I'm going to be adding in all these goodies. And the tomato, and another juice of a lime, and some ginger. And I'm going to also add in a little garlic. Remember I said I already have parsley in here, and thyme, and garlic, and ginger, and cloves, and lime. A lot of really good stuff in here. And so it's already in here, but when you're cooking it, you want to add more to it. You're just building flavors when you do that. Now I am going to step out into my garden. I'm going to cut some fresh thyme so I can put some of the tender leaves in here. I don't want the really big stalks. And I'm going to get a little bit of parsley in here. And so just to help flavor it with some fresh ingredients. Now I'm going to take you out there with me so I can cut that. And you can see a little bit of my garden today. It's young, it's not ready. I got a lot of tomatoes coming in. I'll show you those. And pretty soon you'll see me actually cook with some of the fresh tomatoes that I have out there. I have some onions growing. I have parsley. I have sage. I have a lot of good things. I got cucumbers. Got a lot of good ingredients out there that I'm going to be able to utilize as the season go on. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a lid to this pan. And I'm going to cut it down since I'm going to step out the house. I'm going to cut it down to like medium just because I'm stepping out of the house and going out back. So stand by and then you'll see me in the garden. Check this out, guys. I'm just going to use some of these really tender leaves of this thyme. Get a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I'm not going to use a lot because I already have it in my eppies. But just a little bit. And I only want the top tender leaves. Now let's go over here. While I'm here, check out my tomatoes. I got a lot of good tomato plants coming in. I don't know if you can see them because it's quite bright outside today. Even though I have overcast, got a lot of nice tomatoes. I even got some green peppers growing in right here. And I have some more tomatoes and some fairly large green peppers down here. I don't know if you can see those. And I got more tomato plants. Let me step over here where the parsley is. Okay guys, here's some parsley. So I'm going to cut a couple of these sprigs off and then we're going to utilize this. I have spinach growing, a lot of onions, lots of onions, some sage back there. I got some string beans. Here is my cucumber plants. You know, it's still quite young. Here's some more different type of parsley. Yeah. So we're getting started in our garden. Got a long ways to go, but it's doing fabulous. So I'll see you back at the sink while I wash my parsley and my thyme. Okay guys, welcome back. As you can see, the turkey is starting to render it in its own juices, which is just what I want. I'm going to let it do its thing for about another 10-15 minutes, and then we're going to go on to the next stage. But that's looking mighty fine. I did wash my thyme sprigs and my parsley that I'm going to use in there. Not going to use much because I already have it in my eppies. And I also use a little bit of dry parsley. Alright, let this cook a little bit and I'll be back. Okay guys, we're back. So what I'm going to do now is take this out, take this meat out so I can start making the sauce. So let's go ahead and start removing some of the meat. I'm even going to take out this liquid because we're going to incorporate it a little later. Because that is so much flavor right here, you can almost eat it right now. However, the turkey's not done, so we won't do that. Okay, so let me get that out. We're going to go ahead and pour this liquid out as well. We're going to use it shortly. But to this pan, I'm going to go ahead and add some little olive oil. You can use any oil of your choosing here. I'm going to add in some tomato paste, because that is really what constitutes our sauce. I'm going to go ahead and add in my tomatoes, because I want them to start cooking a little bit, and some onion. Not all my onion, because I want some laid for later, and my Scotch bonnet. Also to this, let me go ahead and add the garlic, some minced garlic and some garlic paste. You don't have to use both. Now I also want to let you guys know, I use about half a can of this. This is 6 ounces, so I use about 3 ounces of tomato paste. But I also want to let you know that you don't have to let this go bad by just sticking it in the refrigerator. Some people say put oil on here and then put it in the refrigerator. I don't suggest that at all. What I suggest is you take it out of the can and freeze it. Just do a little cup like this, little thing. You put the tomato paste in there and then plop it in the freezer. The next time you need some tomato paste, just pull this out and it's good. Otherwise, it'll go bad in here. You'll come back, you'll see the oil, but you'll see mold on it and everything else. So don't waste your tomato paste if you're not going to use it all. Just put it in a small container, you know, and put it in your freezer. Okay. Or you can put it in a little snack bag as well, a little sandwich bag or something. But you have those little containers. You know, we buy those big boxes of all different kind of containers, and then we don't really use them. Okay, I'm gonna turn my tea kettle so my water can be heating up. Because I'm gonna use some hot water in here. I don't want to add cold water. Let me get a spatula. This off my sides. Now when you cook your tomato paste and your tomatoes, you're taking the bitterness out of it as well. So I highly recommend it. Okay. We're going to start adding this back in. Now this turkey is going to render some more juices as it cooks. So get this coated. At this point, I'm going to squeeze in a little bit more lime juice from a whole lime. It's a nice juicy lime. done with that. Let's pour our juices back in. I'm going to add the eppies, the thyme, and the parsley. Throw in a little piece of ginger. I promise you guys, this is some really good stuff. We can go ahead and add in some of the green peppers. I'm going to save some towards the end because I like to layer them on top. Let's add in some of the red peppers. Some of these nice whole big pieces of green onion. They were beautiful green onions. This is my eppies that's melting away. Here's my Scotch bonnet. Don't want to lose that. A little hot water in there. We're going to go ahead and let this simmer for a while. And while this is simmering or cooking, I'm going to cook it on medium. I am going to go ahead and clean up all my messes. We'll come back. It should be just about done. We're going to layer this on top, let it cook for another 5 minutes, then we'll plate it up. All right, we'll be back. Thank you. Okay guys, I'm back. So it's so tender. Oh my God. But I want it to cook a little bit, maybe about another 10 minutes, because I'm going to go ahead and just lay my peppers on top, because it's nothing like having some good peppers and my onions. I don't want them cooked where they're really soft. Just still have a little bite in them. So I'm going to do that. You can smell this. And the flavor, oh my Lord. Try it. Try this recipe. Okay, let's let this cook for about another 10-15 minutes. And we'll be back to go ahead and wrap this up. And we'll just go ahead and plate a little bit for you. All right, stay tuned. Okay guys, we're all done. And this turned out better than what I expected. It's so good. So let's go ahead and put a little bit in a bowl. I'm not going to eat that much. I don't have anybody here to enjoy this with me. So I'm just going to enjoy it by myself. And yes, I love me some peppers. And some onions. Now you can pair this with some jasmine rice, maybe even some fufu if you want to. But this is really good. But I would just use some plain white jasmine rice. It goes really good with this sauce. So good. Here you go. So, if you like this recipe, you like this content, please subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up, like, and share. And if there's something you'd like to see me cook, put it in the comments section or tell me what you think about this. Okay? So thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. This is a simple, quick, easy meal. I cut off a lot of time because I pre-prep. You can save even more time by seasoning your meat the day before. And so I'm going to be posting a video on how I make my eppies so that you can see how I made my eppies. All right. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful day. Bye.